Hello friends, welcome back to another video. In this video, we are going to learn some constraints that are not null, default, unique and check. And rest of the constraints we are going to learn in the next video. So let's start this video.
Okay, so now constraints. The first constraint about which we'll be talking would be unique constraint. Okay, so what is unique constraint? As the name suggests, this constraint actually is used to set a column to unique. Now, what does that mean? Let's take an example. Say for I draw any shape. Yeah, okay. Let's suppose this is a table and this is our ID column. Okay, so if we have set this column to unique, that okay, this should be unique. Now let's suppose the first one was 1, next one was 2, the next one was 3. So in this column, any value could be there, but it should not be equal to 1, 2 or 3, which means that every value should be unique. Okay, no two values should be same. No two values should be same in that column. Okay, so now let's come on to the implementation part. Okay, now we'll open our MySQL workbench. Okay. Password again, the one which you have set earlier. Okay. Now open another SQL file. Okay, so for that, what we can do is when we are creating the table, we can set that column to unique. How? So we have created a database DB. Let's create another table. Okay, create table. Let it be students only, and in students, yeah, create table students. Okay, let's put id equal to int. Now here we can add this thing unique. Okay, id int unique, name varchar 255 and say last name or let's say age only int, and yes, we are good to go. Okay, so we have created the table. Let's execute this. Okay, error code, no database selected. Yeah, obviously we haven't selected any database, so nothing. Use DB. Executed. Okay, table has been created. Let's refresh it. Yeah, we can see it. Student table has been created. Okay. Now let's try to insert some values and check whether that ID column has been set to unique or not. Okay, now let's open another SQL file. Insert into, what is the name? Insert into students. What are the values? Okay, so first of all, let me see what was the workflow. Select star from students. Okay, it was ID, name and age. Okay, fine. Okay, so let the ID be 1, name be hello, and let the age be 18. Okay, and let's do one thing, we can keep one more, by, let the age be 20. That's it, we are good to go. Okay, this has been created, verified, hello and bye. Now let's come on to the main part. Okay, that is the ID column unique? Can it take some duplicate values? Okay, we'll do one thing. Insert into hello, sorry, ID, let my ID be 1, hi, and 23. Let's see what happens. Insert into students value 1 error code duplicate entry. Okay, so this is the thing. Now because ID is duplicate, this won't be entered and this will give you such kind of an error. Okay, so this is what unique does. There is one more way of doing your table, or you can say setting your column to unique. Okay, like let's suppose if you didn't create that at the time of the creation of table. Now what does that mean? I'll show you. Don't save. Don't save. Give me one more file. Okay, let's suppose again we'll create some new table. Okay, um, boys, let it be boys. Use table this and this is not set to unique. Now execute this whole. Okay, now one more table would be made. See, this table with the name boys had been made. Now here in this table we didn't add ID to be unique, and now what we can do is we can run another command, alter table. What is the name of our table? Boys. Okay, so what do we need to do? Why is it giving this? Okay, yeah, alter table boys. Okay, so now we'll be altering the boys table, and what do we need to do? Add, what do we need to add? ID to be oh, I'm sorry, add unique. Which one? Now let's run this query. Okay, before that what we can do is we can check that, okay, before this we are able to enter the duplicate entries. Insert this HIR 24 HRHTX 25. Okay, we have entered this. Let's insert this. After this we'll try to insert a duplicate entry. Where is it? Insert into students. Okay, I'm sorry, I was inserting into students. That's why it is showing error. We had to insert it into boys, not students. I guess now this will work. Yes, this is done. Make another SQL file. Sorry, select star from boys. Let's run this query. Okay, all the names have been added. Now let's try to add a duplicate entry. Any name, let the age be 26. Okay, see, now this entry has been entered. Okay, we can check it also. Yeah, see, there is one duplicate entry. Okay, now we'll run this one, that alter table. See what it is telling, that okay, we cannot set this column to unique because already there is one duplicate entry, so we need to delete that duplicate entry. Okay, now we need to delete that duplicate entry, then only this can be set. So one step could be we can use the previous concept that we learned, that was rollback. Another one would be delete from table. What is the table? Boys. Okay, Because delete from boys, it would be, yeah, sorry, delete from boys where id equal to 1. uh, id equal to 1, then both would be deleted. What we can do is, then we need to use an AND operator, which has not been taught yet. Okay, what we can do is we can straight away use this thing, sorry, id not, where age is equal to 26, then this entry would be deleted. Okay, okay, now this would be deleted. Okay, now we have all the IDs unique. Now let's try to run this again. See, alter table boys, now this has been changed to unique. Now again, let's try to run this one. This will give an error. See, error, because we have now changed our column ID to unique. Now we cannot add any duplicate values. Earlier we were able to add duplicate values because we didn't set our ID column to unique. Okay, so this was overall the concept of unique. Let's come over to the next concept. Okay, okay, so the next thing is not null. Now, what does not null means? As the name says that if you set a column to not null, then you cannot give null values in that column. If you set a column to not null, then you cannot give null values. Let's try to understand with the help of a diagram. Okay, like let's suppose this is ID, we give 1 and then some data, and after that we give null, then data. This won't be inserted. Let's understand with the help of the demo. Okay, let's make another table. We'll copy mostly all the data from here only, all the useful data. Okay, let the name be let the name be girls this time, and we'll keep this as not null and put this as okay. Now this is done. Now let's do one thing. Firstly, we'll try to execute this part. Okay, new table has been created. Let's insert the data. Okay, data has been inserted. Select star from girls. Okay, let's execute this query. See, this is done. Now what we need to do is we'll set this value to be empty. Okay, there is no empty, we need to write it as null. Okay, now let's see, it will give an error, we know that. Let's see. Okay, see, an error is being given and error code states that column ID cannot be null. Okay, this would have been possible if we didn't have set our ID column to not null. Okay, and if you want, I can quickly help you to check this. Create the new database. Use database XYZ. This is now not, nothing would be added here. XYZ. Copy quickly. Yeah. See, first of all, execute this one. Now, if we try to execute this one, this would also be executed. See, this has been executed. We can check it also. Select star from XYZ. See, 1, 2 and null. See, this entry has been put to null. So if you don't set your column to not null, then you can give null values, but otherwise if you set it to not null, then you cannot give null values, as we did it here. Okay, so as like the previous one, this one too has some modifications if you do not set it initially. Like here we didn't set it initially, so we can do one thing. First of all, we need to do, okay, come on, let's do it. Alter table. So what is the name of the table? XYZ. Okay, modify. What do we need to modify over here? We need to modify id to not null. Id not null. Just a sec. And id to not null. Yes. Okay, what is the error over here? Yeah, this won't be here. Yes, this should work. Cut it, cut it. Mm, resume. Okay, so alter table. What is the name of the table? It is XYZ. Now modify. Which column do we need to modify? ID. Int is the data type to not null. See, if you try to execute this, obviously this will give an error because we have already given one column to null. Okay, as we have seen in the previous one also, where when we have given a column and not unique value, and then we were trying to set it to unique, it was giving some error. Okay, same here. So first of all, for that, what we need to do is we need to remove this entry, then we can modify our column to not null. Okay, so this was the concept of not null. Let's come over to the next concept. Our next concept is check. So what is check? Check, as the name suggests, it is used to keep a check, or you can say it is used to keep a check, or you can say, or a certain condition. Like what kind of condition? Say for if I give that IDs should all be less than 5. Okay, so what does this means? That if you try to give an entry which has an ID equal to or more than 5, then that ID won't be inserted. Okay, so let's again understand it with the help of this only demo. Okay, don't save, don't save, don't save, don't save. Now let's open a new tab. Okay, so again, what we can do is we have created so many databases. So let's do one thing. Let's delete all of them. Drop table, yeah, drop it. No, drop table, drop now. Drop table, drop now. Drop table, and again drop now. Now let's do one thing. Create table. Now we can set it any name. Let the name be work. Okay, and now let the ID be int. Yes, let it be int. Let the name varchar. Yep, sorry, I've mistakenly put a dot over there. It's done. Yeah, I guess that would be enough. Now we'll be adding the check condition. So we can add check that id should be less than 5. Okay, so this would be our condition. This should run, I guess. No, this won't run because I feel we haven't written db thing. Yeah, so yeah, use db, and I guess done. Create table. Now column check constraint work. Check one references other column. References other column. What does that mean? Which column are you telling? Greater than equal. Cut. Resume. Okay, now we'll create a table. Say let the name be work only. Then we'll put id to be int and name to be varchar of 255, comma check. Put a check over here that okay, id should be less than 5. Okay, and I guess this should run. Or is it? Yeah, table work already exists. Okay, I guess we forgot to remove this table. No issues. Let's drop this. Yes, this has been made. Now, no issues. Okay, create this. Check this. Select star from work. Okay, id and name has been created. Now let's quickly try to do what we wanted to. Insert. Yeah, insert into work. This is fine. Work. Now I guess this will be executed. Why column 1 does not match row 1? Okay, yeah, sorry, we had two entries over here, third one is not here. Okay, yeah, it's done. Now let's verify it. This is fine. Now let's try to insert something which is out of our limit. That is, we'll try to enter 10, then hi, and yes, let the name be work. See, check constraint says that it has been violated. Okay, so this is what the check constraint does. Okay, now like the previous two one, this too has an alter type of thing that okay, if you didn't put it in the start, then you can put it later on also. For that, let's create another table. Let this be hello, and we aren't putting this check condition. 255, I guess, done. Insert it into hello. Hello. These two entries would be okay. These two entries have been made. We can check it also. Select star from hello. Done. Okay. Now the main thing that would be alter table. Now what is the name of that table? It is hello. Now what are we adding? We are adding statement is incomplete. Okay, I guess, yeah, might be due to this alter table. Then it would be check. Now what kind of a check are we putting? We are saying that ID should be less than 5. If I'm not wrong, yes. Before that, we'll do that experiment also. But okay, let's put one thing with an ID 6, which would be inserted. 6 has been inserted. Now let's try to execute this one. This won't be executed because already hello check 1 is getting violated. So this is the way how we can put the check command while creating and otherwise also. Okay, now let's come over to the next command or next constraint. So what is the next constraint? Cut. um, Resume. Okay, so the next thing is default. Okay, as the name says that default, as we might have heard it many of times that okay, by default we are setting this value. So here it means that, like, let's suppose if you didn't give any value, like if your ID was not having any conditions, and first of all you gave 1 and then empty, then sorry, some data, and here you didn't give any value. Okay, so then it will by default take some value. So this is the purpose of default. Okay, let's do the demo part for this. Okay, create again, I guess this would be copy, paste it. First of all, let's refresh it. Yeah, hello and work have been made. Let the name of the table be high, and we were creating it to be this one only. Let's create this to be default only, and what should we keep it by default? 0. Okay, so now we'll be inserting these two values into high. Try to first of all let's create the whole. Okay, this has been created. We can check it also. Select star from high. Okay, the name table with the name high has been created. Now our main part, that is by default. Okay, so if we keep it null, then let's see what happens. Okay, I'm sorry, We have inserted it into hello, not hi. The next concept is default. So now, as the name suggests, default, or you can say a default value. Okay, so if it has been assigned to any column, that what will happen, you can actually give the default value if you are not giving some value. Say for if I gave id, and for id I made a default to be 0. Okay, so if I put a default to be 0, and let's suppose we have three columns. In first column I added three rows. In the first row I added 1 and then some data, and then default again it will give 0, again here default, so it will also be 0. So this is the purpose of default. Let's see the demo part of it. Okay, let's quickly create a new table, copy all the data from here only. Default for this would be, the default be 0. Insert values into hi, this would be I, and here we would be setting default. Let's first of all execute this part. Okay, control tab star from hi. See, 1 hi, 2 HIR. It's done now. Let's try to put this with a name, say for anything. Now let's see what happens. See, value 0 has been assigned to it because we have set our default to 0. Okay, so this is the purpose of default, as we have learned.
So that's all for this video. Hope you enjoyed this one. Do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.